It's wild to think that one viral photo of a high school senior in full glam could be the spark that helped ignite a multi-million-dollar empire. But for James Charles, that photo didn't just break the internet. It opened the doors to global fame, high-profile beauty partnerships, and a whole new wave of what it meant to be a beauty creator online. But this didn't start with CoverGirl or the Morphe collab or even his own brand, Painted. It started way earlier, with a kid from upstate New York who was obsessed with Legos, escape rooms, and figuring out how everything worked, even electrical outlets. From the jump, there was something different about him, not just in terms of personality, but in how early the wheels were turning. Picture an 11-year-old running a Twitter page that posted teen quotes like "that awkward moment when," and getting it to nearly 100,000 followers. That's not a random childhood phase. That's business instinct. And yes, that account made money. Google ads were running, and there was even a sale of that account before moving on to Tumblr. Then came HTML, CSS, and building out custom themes for other users. Money from that? Used to buy a DSLR camera and a MacBook. By 13 or 14, a YouTube channel was already in the works, and there was even a PowerPoint presentation to convince the parents. This wasn't just a hobby, it was a full-blown self-starter strategy. But as smart and entrepreneurial as that foundation was, none of it screamed beauty icon just yet. That moment happened almost accidentally. He was already doing hair for school dances and prom, just because he genuinely enjoyed braiding and styling. One day, a friend asked if he could do her makeup too, because she was running late and couldn't get to MAC on time. He warned her, "If you look ugly, it's not my fault," but ended up absolutely crushing it. That one spontaneous moment lit the spark, and it grew fast. The Halloween skeleton look on himself? A total slay, even by today's standards. That early experimentation led to more makeup looks, more tutorials, and eventually a presence that started gaining traction online. But the moment everything changed, those infamous senior portraits. The lighting in the originals was bad, flat, unflattering, not doing the glam justice. So he went back, brought a ring light, retook the photos, and photoshopped them himself. Then, on a friend's advice, turned the edited shots into a meme. It wasn't meant to go viral, but it did. Massively. Within hours, the inbox was flooded with interview requests. The next thing everyone knew, this teen with a ring light was suddenly the face of CoverGirl, their first ever male ambassador. Just imagine that. Going from retouching a school photo to standing next to Katy Perry in a national campaign. From there, the growth was meteoric. The YouTube channel exploded. Views racked up. The glam got more bold, more experimental. But behind the beauty content was something a lot of people didn't expect. A deep love of tech, creativity, and problem solving. That's the part that doesn't always get enough credit. People saw the flawless cut crease, but not the coding skills from age 12. They saw the viral makeup looks, but didn't realize the thumbnails were all self-designed, using Photoshop learned during a Club Penguin blog phase. Even that blog didn't take off, but the skill set stuck. And it shows in the production quality, even in early videos. There was always intention. How to light better, how to retain viewer attention longer, how to step up the editing and create something memorable. There wasn't a focus on competition either. The challenge was always internal, just doing better than before, learning more, upping the quality, the creativity, the artistry. That mindset carried everything forward, especially during the golden age of the beauty community on YouTube, a time that for all its glitz, eventually got super toxic. But through all of it, the focus stayed on building something with staying power. And that brings us to the empire. Because this story isn't just about a creator, it's about a brand builder. And when the conversation shifts to Painted, that's when it becomes clear this isn't just about going viral anymore. This is about legacy. Painted launched in 2023 with a bold mission. Make pro-level artistry tools available to everyone, regardless of skill level. No gatekeeping, no hidden pro-only lines like the old Mac system. No need for a cosmetology license just to access the good stuff. Just pure, quality product, designed for both the beginners just starting to play with blush and the top-tier artists painting Beyoncé's face for a tour. And yes, Beyoncé really did wear it. So did Cardi B, so did Nicki Minaj, and Becky G. These aren't just press stunts. This is real-world, red carpet, stage-tested performance. But what's cooler? The same paints have ended up on drag queens, everyday makeup lovers, students, and total beginners. That was the goal from day one. It was a risk, though. Launching with paints instead of a typical neutral eyeshadow palette raised eyebrows in the industry. Critics didn't get it. Some called it a flop. But it sold out. And it sent a message. Painted was going to do things differently. It wasn't about mass appeal. It was about creative integrity and building from there. And just like with content, there was strategy. It wasn't about dropping a product to cash in quickly. It was about establishing identity. The brand had to reflect the artist behind it. Colorful, bold, experimental, a little technical, and unapologetically unique. That approach worked. Painted became more than a makeup line. It became a brand with a purpose, to revive artistry in a beauty world that had started to play it safe. And it positioned James as more than just a creator. He became a founder, a creative director, a brand leader. Now, let's talk numbers. Because this empire, it's not just successful, it's seriously lucrative. Multiple financial sources, including Forbes, have pegged James Charles's net worth at around $22 million. That number doesn't come from just one place. It's the result of years of diversified income across YouTube ad revenue, sponsorships, merch, brand deals, and now Painted. YouTube alone brings in an estimated $1.5 to $3 million a year. That's just from views, not even counting sponsorships, where one post or video could be worth anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000, depending on the brand and campaign. Then, there's the infamous Morphe collaboration, the artistry palette, that reportedly brought in over $10 million in sales. Even if the creator cut was a modest 10%, that's still a seven-figure payday. And that palette didn't just sell. It became one of the most recognizable makeup products of its time, showing up in thousands of tutorials, hauls, and recreations across the internet. For months, it was out of stock constantly. Stores couldn't keep it on shelves, and fans would set alarms just to try and grab it when restocks went live. The design, the color story, the branding, every part of it had James Charles written all over it, and people loved it. Beyond just selling product, it created a culture around makeup that felt fun, bold, and fearless. That collab also opened doors for more mainstream beauty companies to embrace creators as real power players in the industry. It wasn't just a palette, it was proof that social media influence could move serious revenue. And because of that success, future partnerships were more than just endorsements. They became brand-shaping collaborations. It also helped solidify his status as not just a content creator, but a beauty mogul with real commercial value. And when a creator proves they can sell, brands line up. From fashion labels to tech products, the opportunities that followed were a direct result of that first major win. That Morphe palette wasn't just a viral moment. It was a business breakthrough. Add in years of sold-out merch, a top-performing presence on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, and now a thriving cosmetics brand. And that $22 million estimate starts to make a lot of sense. And that's just the publicly visible side of things. Behind the scenes, there's studio equipment, property, production teams, and likely other investments too. But the real value isn't just in the dollars, it's in the brand equity. Painted is growing. The audience is loyal. The creator behind it has evolved, learned from mistakes, and stayed curious. That curiosity shows up in the most unexpected ways too, like a deep love of Legos, escape rooms, and puzzles, used as ways to decompress from the chaos of content creation. Building Lego sets in the office while watching TV? That's not just quirky. It's about turning the brain on, being mentally active, and staying sharp. Same with escape rooms. It's not just a game. It's about strategy, teamwork, and pressure. which happens to mirror a lot of what content creators face when operating at the highest level. And through it all, there's been a surprising level of self-awareness, especially around what role content plays. It was never about being a professional educator. The videos weren't supposed to be tutorials in the traditional sense. They were about fun, inspiration, creativity, showing what was possible, not breaking it down step by step, but sparking curiosity in others. The message was always, just try. It might suck at first. It might look ridiculous. But makeup washes off, you try again. And eventually, the skills catch up. That's how this all started, and it's how it continues to evolve. Even the move to LA was a calculated decision. Not a fantasy, not a dream-chasing leap of faith, just a smart next step. With early support from CoverGirl and travel piling up for shoots and events, it made sense to be based in LA. So the move happened during senior year, with help from school guidance counselors, early graduation credits, and a parent co-signed lease, because he was still 17 at the time. Not every parent would get behind a YouTube career, but the combination of stubborn determination, visible success, and a strong local support system helped turn what could have been a risky move into a real one. Of course, things haven't always been perfect. That's just the reality of growing up on the internet. There were ups and downs, public criticism, cancel culture moments. But each time, the choice was to take accountability, grow from it, and keep going. Not just to rebuild, but to evolve. Lately, there's been a shift, a new level of comfort, honesty, and authenticity, especially on platforms like TikTok and live streams. Fans have gotten a glimpse into the off-camera version. More casual, more unfiltered. There's still glam, still jokes, still full beats, but also realness. And that mix is what's kept the audience around. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just a story about makeup. It's about vision, about seeing a path that didn't exist yet and walking it anyway, about being techie, creative, bold, and business savvy all at once, about doing it without formal training and building something iconic from the ground up. That's what makes the $22 million number impressive, but also kind of beside the point. The bigger flex is staying relevant, passionate, and innovative after nearly a decade in one of the most cutthroat spaces on the internet, and doing it while inspiring others to just pick up a brush and try. Because whether it's mixing paints, retouching photos, or coding a Tumblr theme at 12, it all points to the same thing. When talent meets obsession and strategy, the result isn't just content, it's a legacy. From viral memes to million-dollar launches, from Photoshop to Painted, from prom makeup to powering celebrity red carpets, this is the story of a kid who wanted to do something big with people watching. And that vision, it's still expanding. If that story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another breakdown of today's most iconic digital entrepreneurs. And if you're curious about how others are building digital empires from scratch, check out more on our channel right here.